When the new boss arrived, the office buzzed with whispers. She was sharp, confident, and determined to clean house. I didn't mind change. I'd been with the company for years, and I believed in growth. But she had no idea who I really was. On her second week, she summoned me into her office. Without even glancing up from her papers, she said, "Your position isn't essential anymore. Pack up your things. You're fired." I stared at her, trying not to laugh. Fired. From my own company. She thought I was just another mid-level employee, not knowing that behind the scenes, I owned the majority of the shares. I simply nodded. "If that's what you want." And with that, I walked out, hiding the smirk tugging at my lips. For the next few days, I stayed quiet. She strutted around, making sweeping changes, boasting to the board about how she was streamlining operations. She had no clue that every decision she made was ultimately under my control. Then came the quarterly board meeting. She entered the room, confident, dressed to impress, a stack of reports in hand. I was already seated at the long table, surrounded by other shareholders and directors. She froze for a moment when she saw me, then quickly regained her composure. "Excuse me, this meeting is for board members only. Employees aren't allowed." That was my cue. I leaned back in my chair and smiled. "You're right. This is for board members only. Which is why I'm here." Confusion flickered across her face. The chairman cleared his throat. "Perhaps you should know, he's not just an employee. He's our majority shareholder." The color drained from her face. She stammered, What? That's impossible. He works in accounting." I chuckled. "Yes, and I like working there. It keeps me close to the team. But make no mistake, I own 55% of this company. Every decision, every hire, every fire, ultimately comes through me." The room fell silent. Her confident smile had crumbled. She glanced at the other board members, but none came to her rescue. I leaned forward, my voice calm but firm. "You fired me last week. Now let's talk about your future here." Her lips parted, searching for words, but nothing came out. I could almost see the realization sinking in, that she had underestimated the very person who held her career in his hands. "I believe in second chances," I said finally. "But firing people without knowing their value isn't leadership. It's arrogance. And arrogance destroys companies." The board members nodded in agreement. One of them added, "Perhaps it's best if we reconsider her position altogether." Her eyes widened in panic. "No, please, I can do better." I didn't know. I stood up, gathering my notes. "You're right. You didn't know. That was your first mistake. The second was assuming people beneath you had no power. That's not how this company works." With that, I excused myself, leaving the board to deliberate. By the end of the week, she was gone. And as I walked back into the office, employees smiled at me with renewed respect. They had heard the story. They knew the truth. My new boss had thought she was in control. But she forgot one thing. Never underestimate the quiet man in the corner. Because sometimes, he owns everything.